Do you remember the whole debacle whenever the security cameras were like broken, that were aiming at a prison cell, and then the security guards happened to be asleep in this high profile, high security prison while somebody was on some sort of watch? Well, I think he got taken off of it. Well, apparently, according to what I found out, there's a little bit more to the story than they let on. So back in the day, whenever this happened, supposedly the security cameras were actually bad and they weren't turned on at the time, or something got deleted from the DDR5 or whatever the hell it was, and they just didn't have the footage. Well, then amazingly, it came out that there was footage, but everybody was like, I don't know, there's something wrong with this footage. It doesn't seem right. And then they were like, well, what really happened was we deleted all the information because the case was closed in its procedure to get rid of all the evidence, even though they somehow come out with like 3.5 million different files, but they deleted just this one video footage. Well, apparently some guy was able to like scramble some of the footage back together, and then he screen recorded some of the video, and that's how they got the original footage. Well, apparently after a while they were just tired of listening to everybody, so they were like, you know what, here's like 11 hours of raw footage. You all look for yourself. Obviously this is unedited, raw, straight from the source footage. And then people looked at it and they forgot that there is a bunch of nerds out there, and they were like, you know what, let's look at the metadata. Now, if you don't know what metadata is, good on you, you're not a freaking photography nerd, and that's kind of awesome. But what it is there is a bunch of information stored in your phone, on your camera, literally anything that's used to edit a video, it's stored on there, and people have access to this metadata. That's why it's not exactly a good idea to put raw photos straight on the internet. Sometimes it's better to take a screenshot and then put them on there, because it does give a lot of freaking information that you don't want out there. Anyways, people did look into the metadata, and what they found out that it was actually edited with Adobe Premiere Pro, I do believe. Fucking sellouts, I should use DaVinci. Anyways, this proves beyond a reasonable doubt that it was not in fact raw footage. Now, this wasn't the only problem, because they could have literally just used Adobe Premiere Pro to stitch the videos together, so they would have had one continuous clip. However, if that's true, then there's like 60 seconds missing that shouldn't have been missing. But what gets really weird is they changed the aspect ratio. You may have noticed that this looks a little different than the clip before, and that's because I changed the aspect ratio. Now, you can do this one of two different ways. You can change a freaking camera with a different lens and everything else, or you can just edit it in a freaking any sort of editor. So what does this tell us? Well, it tells us that they did in fact edit this footage. However, it does not give us a reason of why they edited this footage, which makes it very suspicious, because like I said, there is like 60 seconds missing or something like that. I don't know. It's just a bunch of stuff read on the internet. Anyways, I'm sure most of you knew all that. I just thought it was pretty interesting. And if you know more about it and I'm wrong about something, pray tell. Pray tell. I won't be a sore loser, probably, maybe. Anyways, I just thought it was pretty neat, and I thought you all would think it was neat too. So I just wanted to share it with you. And if you like that, you can follow me if you're into that sort of stuff. Okay, have a great day. Bye.